Alright, welcome ladies and gents. We've got our first official look at Gladiator II, a film no one asked for. A film that I genuinely cannot imagine will do very well at the box office. And this cost somewhere in the region of $380 million as well, which is staggeringly high. Okay, it looks pretty decent, but I just can't help but think to myself when I look at the images, why? What are you doing? Very odd. Very, very odd. So we'll take a look at this. I'm looking at the images now, my god. You'll see what I mean. We'll look at this. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn the bell notifications on. Let's dive into a movie which is entirely redundant and has no reason to exist. Here you go. There you go. I guess that's the first look image. What do you reckon? Good or bad? Again, it looks okay. But I can't help but just think to myself, why was this made? And why was it made for $380 million? Someone almost died on the set of this, by the way. Like horrific burns. Pretty mad. Anyway, let's bloody scroll down, I guess. Take a look at this. So, Paul Mescal versus Pedro Pascal. A first look at the epic Gladiator 2. There's some more images, by the way. So, Paul Mescal turns and looks out the window as he talks about playing a warrior fighting for his life in Ridley Scott's long-awaited sequel to Gladiator. The light strikes the steep angles of his face. Alright. Anthony. Hard on for him or something. Like, what is this nonsense? I want to look at Gladiator 2. I don't want your weird love fantasy of this chap. Anyway. So it says, my nose just is kind of Roman, he says. So it's useful in this context. What does that even mean? My nose is Roman. The nose that I absolutely hated when I was in secondary school and used to get ribbed for became very, very useful when Ridley needed somebody to be in Gladiator 2. Alright. Anyway, here's another image. Fine, I guess. Are you a bit like me? You're just looking at this like, why was this made? Anyway, Mescal didn't expect that his breakthrough role as the sensitive overachiever Connell Waldron in the romantic series Normal People would lead him to playing a ferocious sword-swinging hero in the follow-up to 2011's Best Picture winner. But the swoony adaptation of Sally Rooney's bestseller is where Scott discovered him. Quote, when I watch anything, I tend to be clocking who's interesting. It's just in my DNA, and so watching a TV show that's not really my kind of TV show, almost 4 years ago I said, who's this guy? As the possibility of Gladiator 2 became more and more real. End quote. As the possibility of Gladiator 2 became more and more real, Scott arranged a Zoom with Mescal while the actor was performing for Streetcar Named Desire in London. I met with him and he said, of course I'd love to do it. And that was it. We were away and running with the ball. He was a special find. He was absolutely perfect. Sure, whatever. Another image that just seems all a bit like wishy-washy, a bit kind of pointless. But yeah, here's Pedro Pascal. It says this, it really happened fast. Mescal confirms, we spoke for about 20 to 30 minutes. I wanted to get a flavour from him about what the story was going to be about. So we spent about 15 minutes talking about that, and then we spent another 10 minutes talking about the sport that I played growing up, Gaelic football. Maybe that was something that helped with it. In that I'm used to being physical in my body. They talked about possibly doing a camera test, but Scott decided he didn't need it. Fucking, that's really helped your other films, didn't it, Ridley, mate? Really helped Napoleon. My God. My memory of it is that probably 2 or 3 weeks later, the offer came in. That is stupid and insane. Again, who cares? Why is the armour so clean? Like, why is the armour clean and he's filthy? Why is the armour clean and he's filthy? What is this? Now with Gladiator 2 heading to theatres on November 22nd, they're ready to tell the rest of the world where the story picks up in the years after Russell Crowe's Maximus gave his life, upending the leadership of the decadent and corrupt society. The central character, portrayed by Mescal, is Lucius, last seen as the young son of Lucilla, Connie Nielsen's noblewoman from the original movie. Nielsen also returns in the sequel, playing one of the very few true-life figures in the otherwise fictional Gladiator storyline, the daughter of the late Emperor Marcus Aurelius. In the actual history, Lucilla was a firebrand revolutionary who despaired of the direction Rome took after her father's demise. Alright. Who the fuck is this? Who's Denzel Washington playing? Sorry? What? Marcinius is an arms dealer who lives lavishly. Okay, right, fine. Oh, God, I was going to say, they made bloody Denzel Washington the Emperor of Rome. That would just be, I mean, it'd be true to Hollywood. As Gladiator 2 picks up with her story, decades have passed and Lucius has come of age far away from his mother. While he was still a child, Lucilla sent him to the northern coast of Africa to a region called Numidia. What is Numidia? Okay, ancient region in Africa. Alright, whatever. That was, at that point, just outside of the reach of the Roman Empire. He never fully understood why. As he grew up stronger, so did his resentment, even if his mother's reasons had been pure. There's a lot of Sophie's Choice. I mean, God, who cares about this? Does anyone... What is this? Why has this been made? So there is an authoritarian power that is parading as if it were still somehow the vestiges of a Republican government. Inside of this travesty are human beings who are caught in this gamesmanship and power. That is what I find always interesting in Ridley's stories. He's really showing the effect of power on people and what happens in a place where power is unrestrained. Right. So Mescal saw meaning in the story beyond the thrill of men clashing with swords, fighting wild animals, or staging deadly combat for the amusement of the masses. Asked what Gladiator 2 is really about, he says, what human beings will do to survive, but also what human beings will do to win. We see that in the arena, but also in the political struggle that's going on outside of my character's storyline, where you see there's other characters striving and pulling for power. Where's the space for humanity? Where's the space for love, familial connection? And ultimately, will those things overcome this kind of greed and power? Those things are oftentimes directly in conflict with each other. This sounds super lame. Why did this get made? This genuinely sounds a bit like a rehash of the original, doesn't it? Just with a different character. Oh, it's her son now. He's going to come back and no one's going to know who he is. And he's going to have to fight in the gladiator pits. Like, what is this? It just sounds shit. The actor speaks more affectionately about Gladiator 2 script than Crowe ever did about the original screenplay for the first movie. Crowe has often claimed that he nearly quit the movie because he thought there were only about 26 useful pages of the script. Crowe has said he and Scott reworked the story during filming into the successful film that ultimately arrived on screen. Asked if she remembered that from the first movie, Nielsen laughs and says, I remember Russell feeling like that. I remember that he definitely had some thoughts and had feelings. Brilliant. Ridley's process tends to be extremely collaborative. He's extremely open to suggestions and ideas, which is what makes him a dream director in that way. He hears you, he sees you, and I, for one, come up every morning with my list of ideas and a run by him. This does not look like good at all. So this is Emperor Caracalla? Alright. Half of a pair of brothers who rule a decaying and corrupt Rome. Is that supposed to be like almost like a riff on Romulus and Remus, I guess? Sure, cool. Like, they've got a physique, I guess. It just looks all a bit shit. Lucius was once the grandson of the Emperor of Rome. Finds himself a prisoner of it. Yep, thought so. When you're a prisoner of war in Rome, if you are damaged, you are killed. If you are fit, you'll get put into some kind of service, as in slavery. Or you would go into the arena to die. Sure, that leads to a twist the filmmaker is willing to reveal now. The wrinkle is, when he gets to Rome as a prisoner and has a first round in the arena, he sees his mother, to his shock. He doesn't know whether she's alive or not. How would he know? You don't have telephones, there's no press. And there's his mother in the royal box looking pretty good after 20 years. And she's with the general who he came face to face with on the wall of Numidia. Lucilla doesn't recognise the battered creature in the Colosseum as her son, and has no idea about the bloody history between him and the man she loves. She's a woman who has had a huge loss, and in the middle of that, a gift that is Pedro Pascal. What a gift that guy is, even to play with, to work with. I just absolutely love him, and he's so perfect for this role. He is one of those rare actors who really has heart, soul, and at the same time, this incredible gift of transformation. He's really not that good as an actor, to be fair, but alright. So, yeah, this sounds a bit lame, not gonna lie. I mean, again, why is everyone's armour so clean? Look at this leather. It's like freshly pressed. What? Even hit like he's been fighting. He's dirty. Why is his armour clean? What is this? Why is this clean? Why is there no sand on it? He's just been in the arena, has he not? Oh, there he is. Oh, he's got a bit of dirt on him now. He's got to get that dirty to get sand on him. It's fucking seriously lame, man. Oh, there you go. Some more bright, clean leather. Great. Wow. There you go. First look. What do you guys think? I think it looks shit. I don't think this needed to be made. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn the bell notifications on. Drop your thoughts down below. If you like what I do, support further via Patreon. It's the first link in the description box. Take care. Bye-bye now.